There you are. What is going on? How y'all doing today? Facebook, YouTube, welcome. Let's talk about it. So we're live inside the secret place. If you haven't joined the YouTube, I'll say join, subscribed. Go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We have a podcast at The Secret Place on YouTube every Sunday, 7 p.m. We will be going live this Sunday. We will be back with another invigorating topic. So make sure y'all go do that. We greatly appreciate it. So I sometimes I just jot stuff down in my notes. And some of these topics are just thoughts. They're not really fleshed out to where they're full-fledged topics to discuss. They're kind of like ideas. But if I combine them, then I may have a cohesive conversation. So that's why I said no specific topic today, but let's see where this goes. So, the first thing, let's talk about these copyright restrictions. These copyright restrictions is getting out of hand. So, this song right here. This song right here. I produced this song and I used a website called Splice to get the sample. And then I made the track. So, because there's another song on YouTube that's similar, anytime I use this song, so this video is not going to get flagged because they're going to take that and say that I'm infringing on the copyright. I don't have copyright claim to this track. They hear that sample. The algorithm, I guess, is an AI that can just hear the song and they flag it some kind of way. I don't know, but I have rights to this music, so stop flagging my track. YouTube, Facebook. I own this song. I own the sample. I paid for it. It's clear. Another song of mine that gets flagged.
Kingdom Beats.
Stop copyright my stuff. I can't infringe on my own music. That's the reason I'm using my own music. So these copyrights are getting out of hand. Hold on. So yeah, these copyrights, they're getting out of hand. So it's like you can't even hum the song nowadays. Any little thing, like I can understand, the radio, TV, stuff like that. But now it's to the point where you can't even go on your phone and make a we used to do in the 90s, go to the phone, put your phone next to the speaker. Like, doo-doo. All right, hey, it's your boy Talton. Can't get to the phone right now. Make sure you leave a message at the beep. Boop. You can't even do that no more. You get hit with a copyright. They shut your voicemail down, flag it for copyright. Everything is copyright. I understand that, the artists, you want to get paid. Who are your favorite music artists? Top 5, dead or alive? It's a hard question. I don't really, so it's a cutoff because I don't really listen to music like that no more. Um, so it's going to be a point where the artists start to change. But prior to that, let's say 2015, mm, I would say Alicia Keys in no particular order. Alicia Keys. I would talk about people that I really got their albums. Um, Kanye. Kanye was old Kanye. Old Kanye. Not this Kanye. Um, talk about um, college dropout, graduation. Kanye. Them two. So Kanye, Alicia, who else? Mixtape Wayne and the Carter Wayne up until 3. After the third Carter, just tape it down. Uh, Mixtape Wayne, yeah. So let's see, Wayne, A Keys, Kanye, Michael Jackson. I say Michael Jackson. So that's 4. One more. Favorite. Um, See, favorite is different than like personal favorite is different than all time. With classic hits, but because some people got songs, but they don't have the artistry, like the overall. Um, I don't know. Like rap wise, I would say like Tupac, Biggie, but I wouldn't say favorite. Let me see. Let me pick one more. One more artist. I might say somebody like Corinne Bailey Ray or Corinne Ray Bailey, Bailey Ray, whatever her name is. I had a couple of her albums. Nowadays, I like Jonathan McReynolds, The Walls Group, Child Like CC. Evan Ford is decent. I only like that one song from him. Uh, who else? Marcus Rogers, D1. You could throw D1 in my other list, really. Who else we got? This one I'm missing. Flo J. Flo J, up and coming. Who else? I had to look at my phone. So yeah, that's the newer artist that I'm starting to listen to. So, and all of these artists may have copyright restrictions. It's a good segue into what I was talking about. Um, so yeah, these copyright restrictions are getting out of hand. If I want to make a video and let's say I'm posting it on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook, I'm promoting the song. Like I'm not. Well, I get it. I guess people get monetization off music. So I mean, unless that video is making a certain amount of money, then I don't see why it needs to be copyrighted. And I can see if it's like if I had Cat Williams on and he made it go viral and your song was played, then okay, you get a cut. But I don't know. We getting out of hand with this copyright stuff. That's all I'm saying. So next topic that I wrote in my notes. Uh this was a reflection topic. So I said, don't have a false sense of security. A hedge of protection is good, but don't forget to guard your thoughts. So let me write that. I need a whiteboard so I could do some teaching. I got a whiteboard, but it's not like one of them big ones where you stand, and I might set that up. So don't let me just copy and paste. I'm looking this way at my monitor. I need to look at the phone, but it's kind of weird talking to a phone. Think that's better. What y'all got going on this evening? All right, here we go. Don't have a false sense of security. Hedge of protection is good, but don't forget to guard your thoughts. So, what do I mean by that? So, a hedge of protection. So, if you pray, you ask God, hey, God, please place a hedge of protection around me. Please place a hedge of protection around my family. What does that look like in the spirit? Because you don't see it. You don't see it. Let me see if I could get a visual. These are not good pictures. uh, they're literally putting hedges. That is not what a hedge of protection is. How about this? Okay, we'll just use this. Okay, let me share. Okay. So something this Mic check. Testing. Okay. All right. That was weird. I'm just checking Facebook right quick. Mic check. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, y'all can see my screen. Let me put it back on. So something like this. Not I'm think the in my mind I'm thinking of something more warrior angels. So maybe, they may not look like this, but they may have, be more wartime ready, suited up in armor. Maybe they might not need armor, the angels, but some swords or something. I don't know. But you in the middle. You in the middle. And there is a hedge. They're surrounding you, right? So a hedge of protection. So that's what I mean, or that's what you're asking for when you're praying to God and asking for a hedge of protection. So what can happen is, okay, you got this hedge of protection. So nobody can touch you. No demon, no spirit can touch you. You can't get attacked. This protection, somebody step to you, they're not letting them through. They can't get to you, right? So you can possibly get a false sense of security because you feel like can't nobody touch me. So you let your guard down mentally, and you you forget that Satan is the master deceiver. Like he lies very well. He deceives very well. So he can manipulate the truth and have you thinking things against yourself. So instead of, you can't get through the hedge, right? Can't get through the hedge. So instead of doing that, how about I get you to destroy yourself? Get you to believe like you did Eve. Couldn't touch Eve, couldn't make Eve do nothing. But I can make Eve and Adam destroy themselves. Because if you do it, it was your free will, right? So he can't come through the hedge, but he can get pretty close and just talk. So you thinking you out here, you can't see, right? You can't see in the spirit. You don't you pray, you ask for it, you have faith that the hedge of protection is around you, but you let your guard down mentally. So when you start having these negative thoughts, or you start having these depressive thoughts, or you start having these doubts, you're not really you're blindsided. You're not even thinking that it could be the enemy speaking and deceiving you. And it's a trick. So what I'm saying is, don't get so caught up in that sense of security that you stop guarding your mind. You got to guard your own mind. You got to guard your mind. You got to guard your thoughts. You got to process them. So that was my reflection on that topic. Um, because that's like that's the easiest attack, and it's the most used, and it's a downfall every time. It's like our kryptonite. Our own mind will take us out of the game. And you got a whole hedge of protection, but can't can't stop the sound waves from getting to you. Can't stop the thoughts. So the mental, that mental aspect is the biggie. Let's see. Another idea, saying happy heavenly birthday. Um, I don't know. I was just thinking about that. That's kind of a weird concept. You know, persons went on to the upper room and you're saying happy heavenly birthday. So you're using their earthly birthday, their day of birth on earth as a mark for their heavenly birthday? But wouldn't their deceased date be their heavenly birthday in a sense? And even if you're going to use a day on earth in our time space continuum, I think their death date should be their heavenly birth date. So first we need to fix that, because your your birthday on earth is not your birthday in heaven. But I could make a case for you to say, okay, when he passed on, that was his heavenly birthday. Okay, if you want to use that. Say after we get through that, there's not even time. He's like these people are not even in the time space continuum. They're outside of time at this point. So there's no year around the sun, if you will. It's it's all forward. There's no back. There's no past. Is it? Yeah, there's no past. It's just is. There's no time. So if you don't have time, you can't have a past, right? You can't have you're just always. Did I just explain God? I think I just explained God. Yeah, so there's no time. There's no past, there's no future, it's just existence. So they're not having birthdays. They're not celebrating. I don't think that's something. Um, so yeah, that was that thought. Let's see what else I got. I did a word study on love. I don't know what those notes are. Do I have those? Let's see. So there's phileo from the Strong's Concordance. So it's to be a friend to, fond of, have affection for, denoting personal attachment as a matter of sentiment or feeling. So this is more, this is when it's used in the Hebrew or the Greek filial. Then there's agape love. So when you see that type of love, it's affection or benevolence, especially a love feast of charity, dear love. They say agape love is like um almost like unconditional, I guess unconditional love. Then there's ahab, ahab, ahab. Primitive root is to have affection for. So this is like uh in a intimate sexual type of love. Like um what else? We got call Cossack. Cossack. I don't know if I'm reading Hebrew. That must be Hebrew. So this is interchangeable for the other. I don't know what that one was. So it's like a cling, join, to love, delight in, to deliver, have a delight, desire, long for, set in love. Then there's rakam, to fondle, by implication, to love, especially to compassionate, have compassion, on, upon. Uh, so some different definitions of love in the Bible. So when you're reading and you come across love and it says God's love or this person's love, you got to break it down and see what type of love, because English love is just love. Like it's it's used, there's like in other languages there's different words for different types of love, but English, there's, we just lump it all into one. So we use it in context, but it's different, it's different meanings. And I think that's why we get confused when we say, well, God is love and love is love. So I could love whoever I want to love because God is love and love is love and I love. And we don't, yeah, we, like, you speak in English, you don't understand God's love. You don't know what love is. Because if you knew what love was, you wouldn't say God is love and then turn around and say love is love over on these, you know, situations where God is not an approving of it. So you got to know what love is. You got to break these words down. There's different meanings. So let's see. I got a notification here. Monopoly Go. I think the Monopoly Go phase is past. Like everybody was on it and then phew. So let's see. Any more notes? Go back. I'll leave you guys with a scripture since we had like a minute. So I'll leave you with Luke 16:19. Well, that's a that's a passage. 16 through Luke chapter 16, verse 19 through 31. Basically talks about taking care of the poor. I'm just reading notes. So Jesus was born into poverty. So think about that. Jesus was born in a manger. So he wasn't born, born into this royal kingdom, this royal palace, Jesus, God in the flesh, the savior of the world. He didn't come as this puffed up, proud human. He came as the lowest you can get at the time. It's being born in a manger that was for animals. So he was born into poverty. He lived among his creation as a humble man, not a wealthy royal. So Jesus spent time with the wealthy, but he came to come to earth as a humble man. He was born in a manger, and his adoptive father was a common carpenter. At Jesus' purification ceremony, his parents presented 2 doves instead of a lamb for an offering. Though lambs were the ideal offering, doves were allowed as a substitute for those who could not afford one. The Son of God himself came from a family with the financial means to complete the level of requirement for a sacrifice. Oh, without the financial means. The Lord not only loves the poor, but can identify and relate to those who are scraping by. So, God wants us to live life and have life more abundantly. But don't forget that when he came here, he was very humble, put it that way. Wasn't the richest, the richest. He wasn't a royal. He was just scraping by. Like he walked the earth and had a whole ministry, and he really, I mean, he would be the embodiment of relying on God for this next everything. I mean, like the stuff, him traveling with the apostles and all that, they took funds. They needed to, somebody had to pay. They had to eat. They had to stay places, and so it took money, but God provided everything he needed. You never had Jesus missing a meal, missing anything. So we're too materialistic, and we're not focused on, the living water, the living food, the daily bread. Like, we don't spend enough time in those things. We're chasing, you know, that greenback, that other God that we've made and come to love. Like, we rely on that God to pay our bills and, buy us food and uh determine if we're gonna go out, or like that God is in control of our life, not the God, that green God. Um, and it's very easy. I'm not exempt from that. I go to work, I, I have to pay bills, and you know, I rely on a paycheck. You know, like the common man. So it's nothing against having to earn a living, but it's the mindset. Some people get into the mindset of that controls everything. That's in control. Like, I have to go and do this, and if I don't do it, if I don't get this money, then I can't do this or I can't do that. It controls their emotion. It could, like, they're losing sight of who's providing who provided them with the life to go and get the job, who provided with them with the resources, who opened the doors. Like, you're limiting yourself because you're making that the top. That's the goal. That's the goal. When you have access to a higher unlimited bank account, unlimited resources, instead of getting those floodgates to open up and pour out, you're relying on what man could provide for you. So it's heavenly principles that God has. Think about sowing and reaping. You know, my wife and kids, they just started a little small little garden where you can, the little interior one where you can plant the little seeds, and they have the little lights, and you can do it inside. And they sowed the seeds, and now they're starting to see the sprout. They're starting to see some life coming up. So those seeds had to go in the dirt, they had to water them, and then now they're sprouting. It's a process. It didn't happen that day. It it's been, a week, 2 weeks, and it's a process. And we're now in a society where everything is gotta be quick, and we lose sight of the process, and we don't trust the process. Excuse me. And God is not gonna change how he worked. Like, he's the same today, tomorrow, and forever. So we have to get back on God's timing. So I said I was going to leave y'all with the verse. I left y'all with the verse. Y'all can go kind of follow up. That's Luke chapter 16. So that's all I got for today. Appreciate y'all joining. If you're watching the recording, appreciate you watching. Don't forget to, if you're on Facebook, hop over to YouTube real quick and hit the like, share, subscribe to our Secret Place podcast channel. We will be live Sunday, 7 p.m. All right. I'll catch y'all in the next one. That is not the video. I wanted to play this video. See y'all.